Hey, it's your girl, Allison Williams.
Hey, this is Devon Howard.
Hi, this is Beth.
Hi, this is Cindy Mizell.
Hi, this is Tony Walker.
Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Darian Dean.
Hey, everybody. This is the Queen of Philadelphia, Tanqueray Hayward.
Hey, everybody. This is Yasira.
Hi, this is Mason.
Hey, everybody. This is Russell Taylor.
Hey, this is Shireen Crutchfield.
And this is Ricky Jones.
And we are Crutchfield Jones.
Hey, this is Corey Day.
Hey, this is your girl, Castella.
What's up, y'all? This is St. James, and you're listening to my man, Troy Saunders, on the Bass Entertainment Podcast. Let's get it, baby.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bass Entertainment Podcast. It's your boy here, Troy Saunders. Oh, I am excited today, y'all. Oh, because it's beautiful. It's summertime. And we have an incredible guest here today, too. Miss Fostina Dixon. Yes. But before we talk to Fostina, I want to tell you about the podcast. In case you don't know what we're doing here, in case you just tuned in and don't know what's going on, this is your first episode. We promote the best in indie soul, jazz, R&B, house, and inspirational music. Yeah. I mean, matter of fact, we just like good music. If you like good music that fills your soul, makes you want to dance, makes you want to cry, okay, good music sometimes makes you want to cry. If it just makes you feel something, to me, that's good music. So, yeah, I don't like to stick to any particular genre. I just like music that makes folks feel good and uplifts us. There's a lot of stuff out there trying to bring us down. There's a lot of stuff there trying to stomp on our spirits. Music shouldn't be one of those things. Music should be one of those things that uplift us and makes us feel good. So that's what it's all about. It's all about love here at the Bass Entertainment Podcast. And if you're all about love, you're at the right place. Yes. We got to give hand claps to love. So the artist that we have today, I can't believe the amount of things this young lady has done. I mean, worked with Roy. Matter of fact, she looks too young to say that she worked with Cab Calloway. That's what I'm trying to say. Cab Calloway, Marvin Gaye, Sammy Davis Jr. I'm like, wait a second now. You could have worked with them. You just 35. I don't understand it. But we're going to get into all that. But her name is Fostina Dixon. And before we talk to Fostina, I want to play this song called Vertical Alignment. This is a beautiful song. I love the song. And I think you're going to love it too. So check it out. Like I said, songs that make you feel something. If that don't make you feel something right there, that's just a mood stirring one. That's a moody song that makes you just feel like you just want to lay back, get a little glass of wine and just chill. I love that type of music. Anyway, without further ado, we are going to introduce to you Miss Fostina Dixon.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
We had a little technical difficulties because Amazon was trying to get into my Bluetooth device over here, but we got that all corrected.
Okay.
So how are you doing this fine day?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. It's a blessing.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. So let me ask you. So you are from Wilmington, Delaware.
Actually, Newcastle.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The Swedish landed in Newcastle.
Okay.
We actually have an old Newcastle where the Swedish landed, and it's very beautiful. It's right along the Delaware River, and it has these cobblestone streets and these old Swedish-looking homes. And so it's a tourist attraction.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, I got to get down there. My cousin just moved to Dover. So, yeah, not to say what.
Although Dover is the capital.
Yes.
And you do have Dover State University, and you have Dover Downs if you like the slots and shows and stuff. But not the same. It's different, but it's okay. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Delaware's a beautiful state. So.
It is. And our beaches, the Lewis Beach, Rehoboth Beach, I can go on. We have so many little beaches. It is pretty.
Yes. So you were born and raised there?
Born and raised in Newcastle, Delaware.
Wow.
I had to think about it. I was on the Apollo one time, and Sinbad said, "Love the law." First of all, I hadn't watched the show, so I didn't know what he was talking about. And finally, he had to say it like 3 times, rub the log. And I'm like grinning and starstruck or something. Or thinking about what I was going to play. And he said, "Where you from?" I said, "New York." Boy, I had so many people call me from Delaware. "You're not from New York."
Your nerves got the best of you.
I felt like I lived in New York, and so I was a New Yorker, you know.
At the time you was living in New York.
Yes. I think I lived in New York like 15 years, so I was a New Yorker, but my friends didn't like it. So that's why I had to think, okay, where am I from?
So, from my understanding, I mean, you're an educator also, correct?
Yes.
How is that? Especially, how long, in other words, do you see a change in education from when you started to now? And what is the difference you feel? Is it better or has it? Because I feel like, sometimes I feel like, all right, some of the opportunities the kids have now are a little better, but I kind of feel like certain things still need to be taught that's not being taught. So
yeah, it's pretty diverse. Not the same as when I first started. We had serious music programs that were supported by the principals and by the system. Everybody in my block in Oakmont, I grew up in Oakmont, played an instrument. And either the school gave us an instrument or our parents were able to buy an instrument or rent an instrument for very little money. But for the most part, the schools gave us our first instruments. Now, when we wanted to go to a better quality instrument, then our parents would purchase. Like, for example, I started on the plastic clarinet. And then as I progressed, my parents bought me a wooden clarinet. But that's a main difference, a very major difference. The schools claim they don't have the funds to support the arts like the arts used to be supported. Academically, it's very unfortunate, but a lot of the classrooms struggle with behavior issues. And that does affect the learning progress of the other students, especially, we have large classrooms for the most part in public schools. So you might have like 35 kids in a class. So if you have one child who has a behavior issue that day, it can interrupt the whole classroom. And that happens more often than when I first started teaching. Mm. When I first started teaching, you didn't have to address behavior problems because the parents still had some say-so about how their child was going to, the consequences.
Right. They still had disciplinary.
Yeah. It was very clear what the consequences were going to be if you had any issues in school with your behavior. Right. You had the fear of God. I had the fear of God in me.
Me too.
So I had one time, Mrs. Jones told my parents I had done something, or maybe I just got a bad grade. And I had severe consequences. Just that I was in the 5th grade. You see how I can remember this?
Oh, I remember.
And it was the one and only time.
That was me. I don't know what was going on in 3rd grade, but I was just a mess in the 3rd grade, just running around being disruptive. Everything. Teacher was throwing chalk at me. Hitting you in the head with erasers,
Oh, my God.
And my parents came in and said, "Oh, no, you won't."
Oh, no, that was it, right? One time. So, oh, man, I don't have to teach anymore. I stopped.
Okay.
And so I'm very grateful for that. Now, I will say, the Woman to You Jazz Band, I started in 2003. Actually, online it says 2004, but I actually started in 2003. And these were kids that we would recruit who were interested in jazz. And a whole nother environment with kids with an interest in music, particularly jazz music. There's a different kid that's into hip hop than jazz music. Okay. And these were little kids interested in jazz music and no behavior problems ever.
Right.
As a matter of fact, for many, many years, and I don't want to say how many, but we had 100% of our kids went to college.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's a blessing right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So
and that's the importance of a child having a passion for music or any other thing that they feel that they are anointed or they have a special gift or an interest or a passion or whatever. That's the importance of embracing that for the children. And so it's very unfortunate that a lot of these creative programs have been dismissed from our educational system.
It is. I mean, I live in Connecticut, and thank God they still have the music programs here. But once again, the kid has to buy their own instrument. Before, like I went to school in New York City, and at the time we went, they gave us our instrument also. But you had to bring it back at the end of the year, recycle, whatever.
Yes.
But, the kids nowadays, even in Connecticut, they have to purchase their own instruments. And my daughter plays the violin. So that's one of the things I'm upset with her going to the school that she's going to now for high school is that they don't have an orchestra. It's a smaller school, so they don't have an orchestra.
Oh.
But they said, if she can play the violin, we can mix her in with the band some kind of way. We can do some new type of stuff. So I'm like, okay, if they're willing to work with her, because the music teacher knows all the instruments. So I'm like, okay. So
maybe
we'll see.
Maybe you can look at a community orchestra or something in the future.
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
because that would be wonderful for her to have both experiences.
Mm-hmm. So
definitely.
So did everybody in your family play an instrument?
Not that I know of.
It was just something that you picked up, or your parents are like, you know what? I think you should play an instrument. You're like, no, you just wanted to do it, or you just wind up doing it.
My parents had nothing to do with me playing the clarinet. They had nothing to do with me going to the high school I went to. So I played clarinet. I started in third grade. And by the time I was in like sixth grade, I was being transported to the Dilworth High School band. Okay, so you wonder how I got to meet Cab Calloway and Sammy Davis Jr. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I was in the sixth grade and I was going to the high school band practices because that's how much I was practicing, right? Mm-hmm. I don't want to say, I made the cut. How about that?
You were a child prodigy.
I made the cut. Okay? I humbly say it that way. And so by the time I got to eighth grade, getting ready to go to high school, I came home one day and I told my mother and father, I'm not going to Dilworth High School for, now that I'm in high school. I'm not going to Dilworth. I'm going to St. Mark's. So my parents said, why are you want to go to St. Mark's? Because St. Mark's had a jazz band. In the story. So they trusted me, and because look, I practiced. Okay. So it's like, hey, if she want to go to St. Mark's. So God has been good.
All right. So did you always have a thing for jazz, or was jazz at least played around the house, or did you pick up that in school, or?
I don't know what happened. I don't know how I got into jazz. Except for this one song Nancy Wilson sang, and I guess I heard it in my house. It's over when you look into his eyes and he turns away. And I was sitting, I would hold that microphone and lay it on the table, and there's nothing much to say. And that long note, it's over. And I timed it, and I timed it, and I timed it. You better face it. And so I don't know. I don't know if that was the beginning of my love for jazz. But I don't know. Life is a mystery sometimes.
Mm-hmm. You just got to show up, right?
Huh?
Sometimes you just got to show up.
True. That's a good way to put it. I like that, Troy. I'm gonna use that. Sometimes you just have to show up.
Yep. And if you didn't notice, Miss Fostina can sing too now. You just heard her hold a note.
I was saying, are you in tune? Are you in tune? And I do sing a little bit in my shows, but I'm not the girl that I want to be when it comes to my voice, So I limit my songs, and I've taken vocal lessons. And it's something about playing that horn that I think affects my throat. Mm. And so I don't have the longevity that I want and the range that I want in singing. So I pick my songs carefully. Abby Lincoln has a vocal range that I fit into. Mm-hmm. And so I do several of her songs. And also, she was a storyteller and a stylist. And I consider myself more a storyteller, stylist.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I get that, and I can hear that. Definitely.
I'm sorry?
I said I get that, and I can hear that.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
So
and it comes with being an educator, too. You have to get up there and you have to keep the kids' attention so that they don't throw erasers, It all works together, right?
Yes, it does. I used to tutor, and when I used to tutor, I said, "Oh, I can be an educator. I think I'm going to go become a teacher." And then I changed my mind. I said, I don't know, especially when I saw how society was changing, and you didn't have as much power as you did before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people say, you don't talk about my child, and the child bad as I don't know what. And they want to talk about, oh, my baby didn't do that. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. But you definitely have to know how to negotiate so that you can get the parent to understand that you are not against them.
Right. We're just trying to help you and your child.
Exactly. And it takes a minute.
What's up, good people? This is bassist Hubert Eves the Fourth, and I'm chilling with my man Troy at Bass Entertainment. Tune in and stay safe.
Yeah. But do they still have the Delaware All-State Band?
Yes.
And are you a part of that?
I sure am not. Isn't that weird?
Right? It seemed like you should be.
It seemed like I should be.
Right?
I think you have to. I think I participated one year when I was teaching. So I think the requirement is that you're a teacher or currently a teacher, but I'm not sure. And when I stopped teaching, I was so ready to practice my horn like I used to. But I'm going to look into that, Troy, because I really should serve, being as though I love children and stuff. So I'm going to look into that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just thought I had to ask. So how did you go from the clarinet to the saxophones to flute, and which one is your favorite?
So in jazz band, you don't have a clarinetist as your daughter being in the band playing violin. It's not a violin section, so you don't have a clarinet section or a dominant, as a dominant. So I had to pick up saxophone. And once again, because, the band teacher, Mr. Clatch, saw how earnest I was. He gave me the biggest saxophone because it was the most expensive. And that's the baritone saxophone. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got to play baritone saxophone. My first saxophone, because I went to St. Mark's and I wanted to be in a jazz band. So I started on baritone. Now, how does this go? Whew, you got me thinking. So when I was working with Marvin Gaye, I had moved to California. Now, the way I got to California was I was on my second year at Berkeley. And you know how you have your summer breaks. And so I told my Mom, I want to go to California. Oh, plus this trumpet player was starting a band in California and we was going to be the next Earth, Wind and Fire and everything. And he actually has some good sponsorship. Jeanette Dubois, is that how you say her name, the actress? Mm-hmm. And, had, just a little bit of money coming in. We got paid for rehearsals and the whole 9 yards. So that was another inspiration of me going to California for the summer. And I stayed with my cousin. And with Marvin, I played the baritone. But as I got into more studio work and more live performances, because, you have the Hollywood Bowl and you have, I was in the Gerald Wilson Big Band and some other bands and stuff. I can't even figure out everything right now. But now you have to double. It's called doubling. So you can't just play a saxophone. You have to learn, if you want to be a studio musician, you have to play flute, you have to play clarinet. As a baritone saxophonist, I had to play bass clarinet. And so then, Buddy Collette and some other great, fantastic instrumentalist saxophonists who were at the top of that game, as far as studio work and this and that. Buddy gave me lessons. And now he started telling me the importance of me excelling and doubling. And that's the only way you can work. Mm-hmm. Even though I was just playing baritone in Marvin's band, but as I started expanding and wanting to be more competitive in the industry, I had to do it.
I never played sax, so is the fingering different between the baritone, alto sax? Are they the same and it just comes out a different sound, or is it a total different fingering?
Yes, about the same. The flute and the saxophone are about the same. The clarinet is quite different. So I would always encourage someone who wanted to play saxophone to start on clarinet. The armature is demanding, the tone, to get a good tone, it's more demanding than, I could say that, than saxophone. So I think a lot of us would call the clarinet the mother of the woodwind. Double reed instruments, oboe, bassoon, and there are other animals. Like, I don't know anything about them, but as far as the single reed instruments, if I have a child that wants to play clarinet, saxophone, I would say start on the clarinet if possible. At least take some lessons on the clarinet, because that fingering, that clarinet, it's beautiful. That fingering is beautiful. I can't explain the fingering, but it's just so meticulous. It's so beautiful. So I love the clarinet. But how often do you get a job just playing clarinet? So I'm not Sidney Bechet.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I humbly decline. Okay. Keep it real, right?
Right. So, and you worked with Marvin on his last few tours, correct? For 4 years, I believe.
Yeah. And then he fled. And I tell you, Troy, when you said that you've been fortunate and you were telling me some of your background, I feel that way too. I mean, as difficult as this business is, I have still been very, very fortunate, because like there are periods in my life I can't even remember all that I did, and so people ask me these questions and I have to think to try to satisfy their inquisitions. Marvin, I was with Marvin right before he left, had to go to, I don't want to say, what's another word, fled? He had to go to York, if you remember. I don't know what that was about. Maybe it's divorce or something like that. I don't know.
I think it was over tax evasion.
Here's a great thing. I was so young that kind of stuff didn't even, like, I wasn't a nosy body.
Right.
I was just all about the horn, And that's Cab Calloway. The way I got to work with Cab, Kit McClure had a big band. You remember Kit McClure?
The name sounds very familiar.
She's from New York. She still lives in New York. She had an all-female big band.
Okay.
And Kit got some great jobs. And I'm going to say this, and I mean it respectfully. Mostly Caucasian women were in this big band. But Kit was very, very, very equal, fair. It just happened that way, you know what I mean? And Kit would get great jobs, like Brooke Shields' 16th birthday party. And I don't know how we got these gigs, to be honest with you, but Kit was a great businesswoman.
Okay.
So that's how I got to work with Cab. The way I got to work with Sammy, again, I was in California, and you have these big concert halls in California, like the Hollywood Bowl, and I did some things with Minnie Rippleton and Sammy Davis Jr. Yeah. And I remember it was Minnie's sort of like going home service, and her little girl spoke about her mommy. And it was just so precious. So, this is what happens, young people, when you practice and,
okay.
and you give yourself opportunities. Look at these young girls that are playing soccer for the USA. And they're going to be having this conversation in 20 years, and they're only going to be like, what the youngest one is what, 21?
Yeah. No, 18, I believe. But, that's why, when I think about my daughter going to Australia and going to Japan, I'm trying to give her opportunities now so she can see other things and realizes more than what's going on here in the United States.
Absolutely.
You know,
it's transformative. She will be transformed, She'll come back home and, you'll see this new level of a human. And that's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do. So bye, Daddy.
I know.
See ya.
She's already saying that she's probably want to go to school abroad.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to go to college here in the United States. She might want to go to another country. I'm like, girl, whatever you want to do, we'll make it work.
I'm just so sorry that the world is in the condition that it's in right now, though. You feel so much danger, like Israel. And the stuff that they're going through now, and Greece with the fire, everything is going on. That's the only setback. There's so many tragedies and traumas going on around the world.
Yeah, but shoot, it's going on right here too. So what you going to do? You just got to, like you say, like I said earlier, you just got to show up some kind of way. You just got to do what you got to do. Yeah. It's all going to come the way it's going to be.
That's true. You got to show up.
You can't just sit in your house and just worry about all those things. You
That's
just got to keep moving.
That's true. But for me, it's I'm definitely grateful that I got a chance to travel. Like I started doing this 14. My first trip to Europe I was 16. I went with a group of people studying Spanish. See, that goes to show it's not just music that whatever your passion, just be the best you can be in every way you can be.
Exactly.
So my first trip was with the Spanish class, not the music. Now then later, I did go the All American band, and we went and played for the Queen. See, right. Yeah, and I think I was like 17 or 18. So your daughter got me beat. See that? She going a couple of years.
Well, when he approached us 2 years ago and said, I think I would like to ask you all for the permission to take Indigo to Australia. And I was like, she's too young for that.
Oh, you said it.
Well, both of us said it. Well, maybe. He said, not right now. It's going to be in 2 years.
Okay.
I was like, well, she's still too young, but but then we spoke to other parents that allowed their children to go, and everybody had a positive response and reaction. And I said, well, you know what? I trust him and his other teachers going, and so the chaperones are going are wonderful. So
it's going to be awesome. And at least you'll get to see some pictures. So
exactly. So since retiring, is that why you decided, hey, you know what? Now it's time to start doing my solo career again.
You know what, Troy? Thank you for saying it like that. Because sometimes I forget that you can't do it all at once. And I put some time into teaching. And sometimes I'm like, oh man, maybe you shouldn't have put all the years in teaching. But yeah, that's basically what happened. So, I sometimes I feel like I'm jabbing too hard, because it's almost mentally, maybe I think I'm catching up. I have to catch up on something. So I have to talk to myself and allow myself to be who I am with the experiences that I've had, no regrets, and just breathe. And like you say, just show up. I'm going to use that. I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of like in the same position. I understand where you're coming from because I worked for New York City Transit for almost 30 years, So even like 92, I think, that's when I first started working for Transit, when I met Shaka for the first time. And I was still singing and stuff like that. And I was torn whether I was going to sing or work for Transit or what I was going to do. And I wound up staying with Transit because I said, I guess I need to check. it's a benefit.
Right.
You know? So then I think about it also. I was like, sometimes I say, oh, what if I, knowing the connections I had, I might have been, way up there if I, went to music. But everything happens for a reason. So now it's my time to do whatever heck I want to do. And who knows? I might start singing again too. I need a vocal coach or something. I might put out a little house record. Who knows?
Yeah.
Just to satisfy that desire that I had
and
have. To say, you know what? I didn't let that go. I did it. Who cares if I wasn't 20 and I'm, almost 60 now? Who cares, And
that's the issue, the age thing, and unfortunately sometimes, we get a little tainted because the world seems to flaunt younger people. Mm-hmm. And so you really have to keep your confidence. The Bible says, cast not your confidence. That's the word of God. I mean, and that's real, because whatever is speaking to your heart, whatever that spirit is speaking to you, you have to pursue it. So obviously, that's that voice has not told me to stop playing my horn,
right?
Because I'm not 20 something anymore,
right? And you know what? You just go on in and make yourself present, and you get in where you fit in. There's always going to be somebody that says, "Hey, I like that."
Yeah.
And those who don't, they're not your people.
Yeah. I'll call you when I need to hear that encouragement. Now that I've met you.
Yeah, give me a buzz. Matter of fact,
I sure will.
I'm going to play a song off of that. I'm going to play Blessing Me Now.
Oh,
we go bless this right now.
Okay, we're going to just, slain all those thoughts that don't need to be inside of us.
Okay. We're going to grab our blessings right now.
All right. Thank you.
And I want you to hear this. This is another beautiful song. Check this out. This is called Blessing Me Now. I love this song. that song right now is just blessing me.
Oh, good. Thank you.
That album, Vertical Alignment, that's a wonderful piece of work. I love it from the beginning to end. You did your thing on that.
Oh, thank you. Al Turner was a pleasure to work with. He produced it, and I tell you, he did a wonderful job. Vertical Alignment, Blessing Me Now, More, and I'll always remember was written by my husband, Todd Kilgo. So I got to give him a shout out too.
Hey, shout out Todd. Let's shout out to Todd now.
But Al Turner, boy, I tell you, I would love to work with him again.
Yeah, as I listen to that, I'm like, it's not one bad song on it. It's just, and it just flows from beginning to end.
He put it down. He put it down. And he pushed me because I was just coming out of teaching, and I actually had to shed for a couple of years, and Al, he was exactly where he needed to be. So I'm done. Yeah. Thank you. I'll let him know.
Let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And y'all need to get on back together. In the next album, you work together with Al again. Call him up.
It'd be nice. You can and see what Mr. Turner says, but yeah.
Hi, this is Melvin Lee Davis, and you're listening to Troy Saunders on Bass Entertainment Podcast. Come on, get you some.
And you had a song with Larry Blackman.
Oh, Get on the Floor.
Right.
Yeah. That's a funny story. I didn't know him from a bag of beans.
No, you did.
I didn't know him. And Al had finished producing that song. And I called Al the day after he had finished it. I said, Al, I keep hearing ow in the song. Now, that means that we would have to go back and reproduce it or remix it. That's what the better term. So I went on YouTube and I kept digging and digging. You know how you're searching and you're searching for an answer. And I finally found out who Larry Blackman's manager was. And then I called the manager and and that's how it happened. So he recorded, all he did was his ow from Vegas, bounced it to Al, and Al, remixed it. I know Al said, this girl's crazy.
But how did you find out? So you heard the owl and you knew it belonged to somebody, but you didn't know it was Larry Blackman.
Oh, I knew it was Larry Blackman.
Okay.
But why, after the song is finished, ow. It wasn't an ow in there. The song was done. All of a sudden, it's this voice saying, ow. So I'm like, okay. And I had to think, Candy, dum, 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 ow, okay. I'm down. And there's that voice, right?
Right.
And yeah, that's how I just kept on. I said, Todd, what? Because he knows that R&B funk thing more than me. Mm-hmm. And so, Todd, that's Larry Blackman, cameo,
So you knew of him, but you just didn't know him personally.
Right.
Okay,
and I
gotcha.
didn't know, why was I hearing this? Ow.
Well, it just happens sometimes, You just feel something.
The owl showed up. How about that? But that's a true story. I mean, the song was done. Who does that?
Right. And now you got to do the whole thing over for an owl.
For an owl. And my girlfriend lives in New York. Miss Fostina, I know exactly how many owls are in the song.
Well, now we got to play a little bit of that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Check this out. This is Get on the Floor, y'all.
Get on the floor.
love it. That's a funky song anyway. So you know what? It worked out. It sounds good in there.
Yeah, the owl, right?
The ow. In case you didn't know, we are talking with the incredible, the wonderful, the saxophonist with the most, Miss Fostina Dixon. Yeah.
I have a question for you because you said you like all genres of music. And I almost feel that I want to do a straight ahead CD soon. I'm not going to say next. I'm going to say soon.
Okay.
Because that was the most part of my career, playing straight ahead music. And I like straight ahead music. The audiences are different. Mm-hmm. And so, when you're playing straight ahead, you're going to have one kind of audience. When you're playing contemporary, you're going to have another kind of audience.
Correct.
So then you have radio promoters. Mm-hmm. And radio promoters are chances are either going to play one kind of music or the other. Correct. So my question to you is, how do you see being able to do, be in both genres and accepted in both genres? Let's say you're competent and let's say you have good music in both genres, but there's stigmas. And so how do you think that could be eliminated, or do you think that is true what I'm saying, that there are stigmas that people either want you to do one or the other? Just anything, because you'll probably help me.
I think there are people out there that want you to do one or the other. But then if somebody is open enough, they can realize that you can do more than one thing and still be good. I mean, it's the same thing as I think about gospel artists putting out a contemporary album. There's a lot of people in the church that might say, oh, they shouldn't be doing that because, that's devil's music or whatever. But then there's the people that's in the church that realize that music is a result, it's God talking also, no matter how you do it, whether it's gospel or it's contemporary or secular, as we say.
Secular.
So I think there's always going to be that person out there that says, oh, she's not, she left the contemporary to go to the purist side, or vice versa. Why is she playing that contemporary stuff? That's not real jazz. Real jazz is this. So it's always going to be those people. But I just feel like you just got to do what you want to do and how you want to do it. And those people will pick it up. Like, so people that's on the purest side of jazz is not going to know the contemporary side, more or less. Some people might not know that you've done that. So you're going to appeal to a whole new group of people on that side, And those who do know, some are either going to love that you are that versatile, and some are going to say, oh, why did she do that? But like I said, I think you just got to do what you got to do, what you love.
Yeah, I always did like dancing. Mm-hmm. I like people moving, I like that whole, pop it thing. Mm-hmm. So, I like it. Like when I do this show tomorrow, when I see them heads bopping, I like that.
Let me ask you a question. Being an independent artist, how do you feel about promoting yourself on social media? I mean, do you find like it's something that you like to do, or it just feels like a task?
I mean, on some levels, it's unfair to the artists, how the industry has put us in this position to promote ourselves. Because we are not our best promoters. Nobody is their best promoter.
No.
You know, with playing a horn, with being a pastor, with being a good educator, you have to walk, you have such humility if you're doing it well. If you're doing it well, you have such humility and respect for what that art form or what that position is. There's no way you can sit up there and talk about yourself.
Exactly. I feel the same way. It's hard to talk about yourself.
It's very hard.
And I look at people that like, there are people that are good at talking about themselves, but then when you're good at talking about yourself, people don't really believe that you are really.
Yes.
Like, they just blow smoke up my butt. They not really doing all that, you know. You're too adamant, you know. That's a turnoff when you talk too much about yourself.
Absolutely, and I think most of us have seen people who talk about, brag about themselves, and oftentimes the result is disappointing. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like, you know, that's a no-no for most artists. We don't brag about ourselves. We don't, you know. So, yeah, and this is where the business has taken us, where we have to promote ourselves. We have to produce ourselves. There's really no real, you know, I don't even know, like, who are the jazz record companies? Not that many.
No. And
if there are, they are sort of stuck in what they're doing, who they already have signed. You know, very few new artists on the labels. So probably most of us are indie artists. Mm-hmm. And statistically, the indie artists have been making the most money. If you go online and you look at the statistics of the indie artists to artists on record labels, in the recent years, indie artists are doing better. Especially, let's talk about hip hop, and you know, I don't know that too much, but statistically, they're killing it.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Because you get more of more of the pie is yours. You know?
More of the pie is yours. So I don't know how they and the way that some of them promote themselves is so underground. It's slick. It's almost like Harriet Tubman. You know what I mean?
It's true.
Which is slick.
Like I was turned on to somebody recently, a friend of mine's godson, and I've never heard of him at all. But he wants to come on the podcast. He's a hip hop artist. And I said, I never heard him, but I looked it up. He got thousands and thousands of followers. I'm like, well, how come I never heard of him? You know? But like you said, it's so underground, it's so slick, but the people that know.
The people that know.
Hey everyone, this is Hill Street Soul, and you're listening to the Baz Entertainment Podcast.
So how do you think the business of jazz is going today? So you know a variety of artists. Let's talk about some of the traditional jazz artists. Mm-hmm. How do you feel that their careers are going, especially after the pandemic? Job opportunities.
I still think it's kind of like slow. I don't know, with the loss of so many stations that we used to have. Like, whoever heard of, like, in New York City, you wouldn't have a jazz station. You wouldn't have, like, even if it's a contemporary jazz, like CD 101.9 or something that was out at the time. So many of them have fell to the wayside. Thank God for Watercolors, you know, on the Sirius FM. But yeah, I think it's really hard out there for a jazz artist right now. You know, contemporary jazz artists have it a little easier than a straight ahead jazz artist. That's why I kind of did my first show in Connecticut as a jazz show, because I feel also there's a certain clientele that would come to a jazz show that I wanted to be a mature audience, a audience of a grown, we say grown and sexy audience. I wanted to, you know. And that's why I promoted this first show as a jazz artist with Carla, and but it's three different styles too. So Carla is more a straight up jazz vocalist, with, even though she can do anything, but she's I feel like she's more like in the vein of Sarah Ella, one of those type of artists. And then we have Steve Kroon, who play with Luther and everything else, and he's coming with his Latin jazz. Yeah. And then Ty Stevens, who's going to be a mixture of, contemporary jazz with a little soul to it, So that's why I put them three together, so I can get a little bit of everybody that likes any type of jazz, and they all are good friends, so they can come out on each other's set and do a few songs or whatever. Also,
oh, nice. Yeah, that Ty. Now my heart just. So the bass player Ron Monroe. Did you know Ron Monroe?
No, I didn't.
Was Ty's bass player.
Oh, he passed away, correct?
Yep. And I used Ron for probably over 20-something years.
I remember Ron was, I haven't met him, but I remember Ty telling me about Ron and everything. Yeah. I think it's going to be a real great event. The music is going to be incredible. And I just want people in Connecticut to come out and see a different thing, and to shine a light and bring some people of ethnicity up here a little bit more, because sometimes it's kind of whitewashed up here in Connecticut.
Oh man, it's going to be wonderful. You have three great artists. Every time I see your little promo thing, I'm like, oh man, I almost want to move back to New York because of people like that. But I don't think I'd be any good in New York on the subways and the public transportation and moving the car from side to side.
Oh, yes. Well, I live in Connecticut, so I'm not trying to go back to New York either. I mean, I like to go visit and say hi to folks and then come on back up here to some peace and quiet.
Yeah. But certain things. But New York is not like what it used to be. Sometimes the grass seemed greener on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was down there, I said, oh my God, why am I here? I think New York also is a place to go and to live when you're younger. I mean, sure, if you're older, you can get around. There's things, there's conveniences there, but the energy of it is more for somebody that's younger.
Yeah. I'm glad I was there when I was there.
Right. And once you get out of there, when you're young, you're like, oh, I don't need to go back. I've been there, done that.
Yeah. And I tell you, if I had some bucks like Beyonce and Jay-Z, where they get on their yacht, I hear, to go across the body of water to go get their favorite lobster roll, I wouldn't, yeah.
But that's a different scenario right there.
Yeah. That's called hitting the lotto, the lottery or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah.
What about that lady? She just won the $1 billion lottery ticket. She won $1 billion on the, what was that?
What is she going to do?
Powerball, right?
I hope she has a lot of people to bless and people with some good aspirations, and you can't spend that money on your own.
No. Mm-mm. And just put it aside and bless whoever you need to bless, and whatever's left over, just put it aside,
Yeah.
So I know one thing, I would probably have a recording studio and open up our own venue to do shows in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Hire all the people I want to come play, and
Yes.
Troy's place.
That sounds good.
Right?
Right?
I just need the coins. I got the idea.
I do too. I have the name Angels.
Oh, I like that
That's
too.
the name mine would be. Angels.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, let's put that in the universe.
Yeah, let's put it out there. Troy's Place and Angels.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so we just yapping. Let's talk about the new album.
Oh, yeah, New Beginnings.
Yes.
That was a rough one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Well, we was in a pandemic and I had the press and, but God got me through it. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah.
It's doing okay. Gail Johnson and I did a couple of numbers. We did A Better Way and Sketched. So we're bouncing. She lives in California. I live in Delaware. We're bouncing tracks all day long and catching up. And she was on the road, and I tell you.
You said Gail Johnson. I was thinking about Creek Lane. That's one of the songs I like on there.
You like that song?
Yeah.
Good.
I like that one.
Dennis Fortune, Vincent Fortune and Cruz wrote that song. They wrote it over 30 years ago, and we redid it. And Dennis is the main keyboard. I don't like to say my piano player because
I hate that.
Yeah, ain't nobody mine.
Exactly.
Exactly. But he's the main piano player that works with Fostina Dixon and Winds of Change. He's a wonderful human being, and he plays very well. And he's a leader. He's a confident man. He's a gentleman. He's respectful. So he's good, nice to work with. Very nice to work with. Focused. Bill Jolly did most of the production of, I think, eight of the songs. The Momentum Bill did, and I'm like, where did he get that from? Because that song didn't sound anything like that.
But see, that's why when I speak to certain artists, and we always say it's always good to collaborate with other people because they bring other things out of the song, out of the lyric, out of the instrumentation that you might not have thought of that will fit so perfectly and bring it to another level.
Absolutely.
Like sometimes we get stagnant if we just doing everything ourselves.
Absolutely. It's not even the makeup of a human being, I just wish I had it more often. I wish that's one thing about when I was in New York, there was just such so much greatness around me. And, it just keeps you motivated. It's hard when you have to motivate yourself on most of the days, so you really have to think of how to keep yourself engaged and how to, what is it that inspires you to be creative? And I'm constantly looking for that because one day it could be cooking. Like the other day, I made some garlic chicken, but it was a new way that I did it. And so that inspired me to practice later because once I tasted that thing, and I was like, woo!
It was like music to your tongue.
I was like, okay, I did that. But I want more people around me to inspire me to write. So Dennis and I are talking about collaborating with this next project. He has a heart. A lot of people are not are successful in one area and you're doing well in that area, then you're fine. You're content. And I'm not that girl.
Right.
Sometimes very unfortunate. It can work against you and it can work for you because it keeps me wanting to explore that next thing. But sometimes it can be a drag because it's like, I forget all that God has allowed for me in my life, for me to just say, okay, I'm always challenging myself. And sometimes that's not good. Sometimes be content. but the good, but you have to extract what's good about it, okay? So
exactly.
So that you're not putting your own self down. You want to work for you, not against you. So the good part is it keeps me wanting something new.
But isn't that what life is about? If you become complacent, then you might as well just, die. As far as I would say.
Are not dead physically.
Right.
So and I'm going to leave it at that.
No, you got to. That's what I mean. We on the same page. That's what growth is about. And you never stop growing as long as you're alive. At least you shouldn't.
You hope and pray that you never.
Right.
Correct. But some people do eat McDonald's every day. Look at my face, Troy.
I got you.
Some people go to Burger King. They eat out all the time. And so for me, it's like I very seldom eat out because my preference is to create something that I know is going to be nourishing and exciting to eat.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I love to cook.
Yeah.
I'm always in there.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't want to cook.
I know. It's different also when you do it because you want to do it and you love to do it. But then some days you're like, oh my God, must I really get in there and do something? When it becomes a job, then you don't feel like doing it.
And you got to know when to take off. So I did this chicken the other day, right? And I did some nice fried purple cabbage and some quinoa.
Mm-hmm.
So today I'm chilling. I'm going to make me some turkey burgers and just put the bread out and do the lettuce and because you got to give yourself some breaks. You know what I'm saying? You have to find the balance.
Like every day can't be gourmet.
Right. Come on, let me write that down. Every day can't be gourmet. Ow. Ow. Every day can't be gourmet. Thank you very much, Troy.
That's the title to a song.
I'm telling you, and just show up.
Right?
Just show up. So, Clifford Jordan's wife, Sandy Jordan, just produced, came out with a
compilation
of some of his music, all with vocals. Are you familiar with it?
No.
And it's called Drink Plenty of Water.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, Drink Plenty of Water. So you can go on YouTube and listen to. It's very interesting. Drink Plenty of Water.
I want to check that out.
Yeah, please do. And Sandy said it's doing very well, so I'm happy for her. Drink plenty of water.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, we talked about it, but we didn't play Creek Lane.
No, we didn't play Creek Lane. I keep forgetting about all these songs that I did to be honest with you. Yeah, okay, go ahead and play it.
Yeah, we're gonna play it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
We're gonna give a little spin. Yeah, this is Creek Lane, everybody.
I'll let Dennis know you played it.
Do. Hey, that's a bad record right there. So let me ask you a question. Besides the show tomorrow, what other shows you got coming up? What else is going on? How do people want to get in contact with you and see you and enjoy your vibe?
On my website, I usually keep something posted up there on my name, www.FostinaDixon.com.
All right. So you're heard going over there.
Update it, a little bit, but I'm trying to, I don't know, I've been doing more private things lately. I think people, because of that pandemic, are starting to have more birthday parties and celebrations. And to be honest with you, they pay more money than clubs.
I'm sure, because the clubs want to get their part on everything, and they got overhead. All you got to do is come out there and at a private event, get your money and going back. They're not really thinking about overhead in the bar and all that type of stuff.
Right, but you kind of, that's part of your career is about doing the public stuff too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like you were saying, it's still a little slow in terms of, and here's the unfortunate part, Troy, and I don't want to sound like I don't want to sound negative, but unfortunately, a lot of these clubs are still not paying well. And you would think that after the pandemic, people didn't have 3 years of music and they're enthusiastic about coming to hear live music again. You would think that things would have gotten better. And we're taking note that a lot of the club owners are paying less. And I don't understand, especially it can be very some tough decisions that I make to not do some of these things because, again, if somebody has 20 years of experience or more, they, in any other profession, you would respect that person on a different level than it being your first day.
Right.
But they don't do that.
Mm-mm.
A lot of people don't do that. It's very unfortunate.
It is. It is. Well, you know what? Once this show takes off real well, you can come on up here.
Yeah, I come on up there and meet you.
I paid my people.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. The people that you have with you, I know you have to be a good guy. And hopefully maybe your heart and spirit will multiply because we need more of that. So remember we used to go to Europe and travel abroad because these were the people that were treating us better than even here in the United States. This is not a new thing that I'm talking about.
Correct.
And now even, so, some of the European trips are not even paying as well as they used to.
Mm.
And they are bringing a lot of solo artists. So, for example, they would bring me, but not the whole band, because now they've learned how to copy and play, the American classic music.
Right. They have their own set band there that they are going to use for everybody's show.
Exactly.
And you just got to send your music ahead of time. And
yes.
But then everybody else in the band doesn't get played.
Right.
Paid, should I say. Mm.
And you miss that. You miss that band, like.
That's your family.
Yeah. And some gigs I've been playing on tracks.
Mm.
And that really, so I have turned down a few recently. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean,
playing tracks is hard.
Because where's the improvisation? Where's the energy that you feed off of one another in a band? You can't feed off that with the track.
You can't. And which is one of the reasons why I started doing it, initially it was in church. You know, you would get spirit fed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or I should say spirit filled. And it took care of itself, sort of, kind of, although you couldn't really go outside of the parameters of the track. But because you're ministering, you were okay. I was okay. Plus maybe one or two songs. And then it went on to, can you do 5 or 6 songs for this event? So I challenged myself, to be honest with you, because how do I stay focused and remember the form of the song on the track? So it's not like you can turn around and say, hey, yo, Dennis, let's do A again. Or I missed B. That took discipline for me to remember verbatim the tracks. So it was a challenge for me. And now that I knew the track well enough for me to flow in it, that was the next level challenge. And now for me to actually flow and improvise. So it started off as a challenge, like, I'm going to learn how to do this. And some great players know how to do that, like especially some of the contemporary, my favorite, Kirk Whalum, Tom Brown, they know how to do that. And I saw, I would have to go on my website to see the dude, he's got a couple of hit songs, pop artist. And he had the women going crazy.
Singing with a track.
Singing to a track. So I said, well, let me challenge myself and learn how to do this, because there's a certain, that's when a lot of times, say, traditional jazz players, like I used to be like this. It's like, oh, they just riffing, they just make, they just playing a couple of, but to make Maceo is a good example. For Maceo to play that horn and stay in that pocket, like, and with the trombone player, Fred.
Great,
right?
with James Brown.
Right. Man, it took me a minute to learn how to stay in that, because I'm so busy trying to kill all the notes on my horn. But when you can make somebody pop their head and just lay on a couple of nice notes in the pocket, that took me a minute. It was hard. And of course, I still don't have it mastered, but I'm just saying that was another discipline in the way I played. And sometimes for me to actually rock a crowd, it can be harder than my jazz crowd that are more traditional jazz, where they appreciate me, playing, more around my horn and trying to kill every note that I play.
Right.
But sometimes so look, I wanted to expand my musicianship. And now that I've experienced certain things, now I'm getting more detailed about what's going to keep me in the game, what's going to keep me inspired, what's going to promote excellence, so some things you just start dropping, but like working with Frank Foster, Abby Lincoln, Melba Liston, those were like some of the greatest. Even Marvin, we played with Marvin. Like we had band songs where we improvised and got featured and stuff. Those experiences, man. What big Gerald Wilson big band? What big bands do we have like that anymore?
I don't think there are any. Very few.
Probably
very few.
Band. Yeah. But those experiences, again, like I would love to be a part of those experiences again. today. But they're just not there like they used to be.
Hey, everybody, this is Rebecca Jade, and you're listening to Troy Saunders on the one and only Bass Entertainment Podcast.
So what would you say a young instrumentalist, I can't even say the word right now.
Instrumentalist?
Yes.
yeah, because you had to,
yeah. What would you say to them that's trying to come up now?
Believe, stay grounded, spiritually. Mm-hmm. I know that's so easy to say, but man, I'm telling you, if you get out there and it's not a fair world, and, I know I would want my daughter to know the truth. And you can't make it out there if you being tossed to and fro, and this person saying, take your pants off, and this person saying, take your bra off, and this person saying, wear high heels, and there's a lot of young people who are mentally having mental challenges. Mm-hmm. And so this is important for us to tell them as well, not just do well, learn your craft, not just know the business, but have yourself rooted and grounded in some kind of spiritual belief. Mm-hmm. Because, we don't want people out there committing suicide because they got depressed. That somebody said, oh, you look like crap. Mm-hmm. Your social media, it's not, you don't have 1 million followers in your social media. People tell me now, make sure you keep your social media page. You need to engage. I need to engage my fans more. So, sometimes I'm like, yo.
It's so true. It's so true.
So
it's different.
After that, there's a difference in being in jazz. I don't know about pop music and R&B, but there's a difference in being a woman than a man in terms of how you represent yourself. And that's just period. So that's me. That's who I am. You understand? Mm-hmm. There's a difference in how, women in this business are being treated as opposed to men. Now, people are going to dispute that.
I don't know how when it's so obvious.
The proof is in the pudding, right?
Exactly. Well, it's true.
It's like the sun is black. No, man, the sun is yellow. No, it's black.
And then if you notice, like if you go to social medias, there's so many people that got so many followers simply because they have naked half the time on their social media. So I'm like, come on now, where's the substance? How many pictures of you in a bikini, or you bare chested, of you scantily clad? How many of those can you put out? What's behind that? It's got to be more to it. But some people, that's all they want to see, which is sad.
Yeah. And some people have done quite well at it.
No names mentioned.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. And some people have those followers that look forward to it every single day. Mm-hmm. So, those are the decisions that our children, our young people need to make.
Exactly.
That's why we have to have these conversations.
Exactly. We've been on here for a little minute now.
Let me say, that's because you like a homie or something. You like, you're very comfortable to talk to, and again, want all the best in your show. I didn't look. When is your show?
I put it out on Fridays, but you can watch it anytime. I have it on all social, all podcast platforms. If you just go to Spotify and type in Bass Entertainment Podcast, all 80 episodes will show up. So you just pick whatever one you want to watch at the time.
Oh, well, I'm glad you said that, but I'm talking about the live show.
Oh, in September. Okay.
Oh,
That's coming out September 16th.
Oh, that's a good day.
Yeah.
Madeline Yayo Daly was born on that day. She was a very fine percussionist. She had the group Women of the Calabash. I just remember September 16th. Yeah. Like September 23rd, I remember that date too.
Right.
That was John Coltrane's birthday. Yeah.
Certain days just stick in your head.
And Frank Foster's birthday. Yeah.
See, certain days just stick in your head no matter what. But,
so all the best. You just have yourself a wonderful time.
But if you want to come on up, come on up.
Yeah. I'll see what's going on,
And if you want to go back, I even have there's a hotel up here that's reserving rooms for folks that don't want to go back.
Really?
Yeah.
That might be a nice little getaway.
Yeah. So I spoke to the man at Holiday Inn, and he says, "Hey, whoever you got that wants to stay overnight, tell them to get a room here." And he gave me a discounted rate and everything. So
that's so nice. Yeah, so that's quite possible. I'll look at my calendar.
And who knows, you might want to feel an urge to just jump up there with your sax.
Yeah. Jump up and jump down.
Right. When I used to do the shows in the city, the host would jump down in the audience and get the people to sing, because there was always some other artists in the audience. So he would pass the mic. So he said, "Oh, Karen Wheeler, you in here? Karen, sing this, sing." So Karen would sing, and then she'll pass it on to somebody.
Oh my God!
So
it's gonna be nice. I can see it in your eyes.
I love this stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice. And I will look in my calendar and see, what's going on. It's on a Saturday.
Yep, it's a Saturday.
Yes, sir. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
And you know what? And thank you, everybody, for listening. We've been yabbing. We've been sitting here like we've been in our own little living room here. I never spoke to the people. Hey, everybody, I just want to tell you, thank you for listening. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for listening to all 32 countries, with 32 countries that do listen. Thank you. It's more than 32 countries, but the 32 countries that do listen, thank you for listening. And I hope you enjoyed our conversation. It's just like what I love about this podcast is that it's like being in one another's living room. It's just personal. It's not like we're, like you on 60 Minutes or something like that. It's very personable. And that's how I like for it to flow. And I hope you liked it also. And once again, we talked about the show coming up. We have a wonderful show. If you're in the tri-state area or even further out and you want to come on into Connecticut, come on up to Newtown, Connecticut on September 16th and check out our three incredible artists, Ty Stevens and Soul Jazz, Steve Kroon, and Carla Cook, all at the Edmond Town Hall. Yes. And not only that, they are not only coming together to just play an incredible set of music for you, but it's for two incredible charities. One charity is the Anna Grace Project. And Anna Grace, sadly, was one of the little girls and the only little girl of color that was killed in the Sandy Hook massacre. And her parents started this charity in her name. And it's really expanded all over the world, all over the country. As a matter of fact, there's even a beautiful school. Me and my daughter went up to that school earlier this year to check it out. It goes from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade, and they teach kids music from kindergarten up. I mean, just a big, beautiful school with a wonderful energy. I mean, shoot, if I was a kid and I want to go to that school, it was just that magnificent. And not only do they teach music, they support initiatives for mental awareness and health. There's so many things that they are putting their money and their time into and developing a strong community, not only in Connecticut, but around the world. And the second one is Chelsea's charity. And Chelsea started this charity when she was 10. now Chelsea's 14. It was 4 years ago that she started this. And she is a wonderful artist. And she knew that, she felt when she does art, when she draws, when she creates, it calms her. It makes her feel more relaxed. It puts her in another place out of her, whatever was going on in her mind. It takes her away from those things. And she felt like, you know what? Art should be expressed by all kids. So she started this charity where she collect crayons and art supplies and and art lessons. She gets art lessons for kids in certain areas where they can go and learn art and express themselves through art. And this has been a world or a countrywide thing. She's been on national TV talking about her charity, and all at the age of 10. Now she's 14. And not only that, come to find out, she and my daughter both live, we live in Danbury, Connecticut, and now they are best friends.
Oh.
Yes. So Chelsea and Indigo are good friends now. And I knew about the charity even before I knew who Chelsea was personally. And she's just as wonderful and magnificent as you would think she would be, starting a charity at such a young age. But yes, Chelsea Charity and the Anna Grace Project will be benefiting from this show. So, hey, if you are looking for a wonderful reason to go out, not only for the music, but to give back, this is the event. This is definitely the event.
Awesome. Awesome.
So, yes. And once again, I just had to put that out there, y'all. So, and if you want to get tickets, go to bassentertainment.com or ticketleap.com and type in Bass Entertainment, and it'll pop right on up. So, and all that being said, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Fostina, for being here today. It was my pleasure to talk to you. And please, don't be a stranger. Come on back.
Oh, thank you, Troy. We have really been going back and forth, and it's wonderful. It's like, the AI thing now, the artificial. We're real people. You and I are real people.
Exactly.
So, thank you so much. Thank you, audience, for listening. I hope that we were able to share some good, pertinent information that will inspire, encourage, or just bring to light something for your personal lives. And thank you for spending this time with us. Troy, you have a wonderful day.
You too. And before, I just want to tell you all also, going out there and support Fostina Dixon's music. Please, going out there, subscribe, download, stream, share it to other people. Let other people know that there's still good music out there. Let them know where to find it. And please go to her website if you want to know where she's going to be. If you want to know how to get, do you have hard copies of any of your records?
Sure. Oh, it's all on the website.
All right, go on over there and get you a copy. Later for that daggone streaming, buy you a copy. That's even better. That goes right up in the pocket.
Yeah. Well, not all of it, but...
Well, more so than streaming it.
Absolutely, but people don't even have, a lot of people don't have CDs. So I love what you said. Just support us. Support us, us artists who are giving our hearts and souls out each and every day for the most part. To you.
Yes. So please support. And we're going to go out with Leave the Door Open. Uh-oh. Oh, y'all know this song. This is Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, Leave Your Door Open. But this is an instrumental version done by Miss Fostina Dixon. And it's just as sexy as the vocal version.
Oh, thank you. Woo!
Okay, because they did that. And so
the women be standing up and moving to me, and I be moving to the women in the audience. It's crazy because they just love that song. So, thank you.
You are welcome. And please have a great time tomorrow at the show.
Thank you. Wilson's.
Yes, and well, it won't make sense for me to say it tonight because by the time this come out, it'll be
over. Yeah. I got it.
Right.
That's okay.
Yes. So go on and get yourself some lunch.
Okay. All right.
Enjoy. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Troy.
You're welcome. This is Leave the Door Open, y'all.
Hey, it's your girl, Allison Williams.
Hey, this is Devon Howard.
Hi, this is Beth.
Hi, this is Cindy Mizell.
Hi, this is Tony Walker.
Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Darian Dean.
Hey, everybody. This is the Queen of Philadelphia, Tanqueray Hayward.
Hey, everybody. This is Yazira.
Hi, this is Mason.
Hey, everybody, this is Russell Taylor.
Hey, this is Shireen Crutchfield.
And this is Ricky Jones.
And we are Crutchfield Jones.
Hey, this is Corey Day. Hey, this is your girl, Castella.
What's up, y'all? This is St. James, and you're listening to my man Troy Saunders on the Bass Entertainment Podcast. Let's get it, baby.